should we get to some gameplay footage?
I think we should get to some matches.
Analysis thing. All right.
Oh, nice. So top 8 here, you can see a lot of the players here. Fenrich, of course, a lot of people know right now for Dragon Ball Fighters, but he's been good at everything for so long. Dora, you see in 7th place is Dora Bang. He got 3rd place in the EVO, was it 2014, I think it was?
Yeah.
With the crazy Dogura and Galileo grand finals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he also, I think he's in one of the matches that we're going to see for BB Tag later on, too.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. So definitely a high-level player. Soji, I think we're going to be looking at one of his matches today as well. Been a top player for a really long time. I actually know him as a Persona player from like way back in the day. He was like the Teddy player. So yeah, definitely known for more setup characters, sort of advanced sort of things. So really look at that. Lots of American players too in like this top 24, I think.
Yeah, top oh yeah, you're right. 24.
Yeah, so lots of SoCal players: Jonah, Nano, Dead Spike, Isoropia. All from SoCal. We got other people from Omniscythe, lots of net players in there too. So again, showing the US is here to play in a lot of Arc System Works games. I think this is the EVO where we really started to shut our stuff. Not just like Lost Soul and top 8 of Guilty Gear, but there are dozens of players who were in top 24 for all these games, and like you can't forget that getting 9th place at EVO out of 1,000 people is still a ridiculous feat.
Oh yeah.
So
it's a little hard.
it's kind of tough. So even if you didn't see them in that top 8, like you have to give them props for getting that far.
And this, of course, you can see on the screen right now. This was part of Anime EVO. Anime EVO, which is runs a bunch of the side tournaments at EVO, and it's getting like more and more official. I know like some of the games on Anime EVO had like pop bonuses from like the developers and things like that. But just because your game is not one of the main games at EVO does not mean it's not going to have a strong presence there.
Absolutely, it's always up to the community to sort of that sort of stuff. So
and EVO even made it now, so they had a 7th stream where they actually played a lot of these games on stream now, which is super cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, I guess we can cut to some gameplay. Yeah.
Sure thing. We're going to start with Fenrir. Oh, this is Grand Finals here with Fenrir and Soji.
Grand Finals post reset. We're starting. You're starting right here. Okay. So yeah, like I said before, Soji. I know him as a Persona player where he played Teddy, which is a very heavy setup character, right? Someone who tosses items out and plays off of them in a set order. Arakune is sort of like that, where he needs the curse meter that you see above his meter bar there, where the more you stand inside of his cloud, the more curse he builds up. And once you get max curse, he gets access to bugs, which is bugs come out of everywhere. He's got unseeable left-right unblockable setups, all kinds of craziness. Fenrich playing Jin, who's one of the more honest quote-unquote characters, like super solid but not anything super crazy. So even though you will likely know him for Dragon Ball, don't forget that like he is a beast at Blazblue.
He's a beast at all these games.
For sure.
I remember watching him in Grand Finals last year, and he was tight, really epic match.
That was a crazy Grand Finals for sure.
Yeah, he got 2nd place, but man, it was
I think that's what a lot of people enjoy about watching Fenrich too. You can see here the Anime EVO side booth. You have everyone just watching sort of off the main stage. But I think part of the fun for people watching Fenrich is that he's fighting some of these really, really wild characters, right? Like last year he's fighting Carl, now he's fighting Arakune. All these characters with like super heavy setups, and all he's got is like an overhead that doesn't go into combos and like good buttons. And for people to watch him play, it's sort of like watching Ryu, right? Where it's like, oh, I'm playing this really solid character.
It's funny because a lot of BB Tag players are probably like, Jin is an honest character.
He is in this game. You can see Fenrich just trying to keep away from that curse, but yeah,
I mean that's kind of a tone down from what he was before, right?
For sure, yeah.
Arakune was really very oppressive in previous versions of Blazblue.
Oh, that's the one hit!
Yeah, see, he's comboing him into the curse. Now the bugs are around.
There we go.
Yo, hold this.
Yeah.
He's never out of it.
And the crazy thing about it, they're still controlled by a negative edge, right?
Yes,
the bugs,
they're all still controlled by him. So it looks sort of random, but that's all controlled.
Yeah, it's like when you let go of the buttons, then you're launching the bugs, so you can control exactly how they're coming at the opponent, and it kind of shuts down. You really have to be careful about how you're using your buttons to do it. Then.
But again, just a clean air to air.
Like you saw there earlier in the match.
To myself, this is what I do. This is my game.
But that's the scary part, though, is he had that huge, like, 90% life lead, but Arakune's never out of it. It's like, oh, I got cursed, and now I have to guess 4 times, and I might just lose.
I mean, that's kind of one of the cool things about games like this is that you have so many different archetypes with all the characters, right?
For sure.
Jin is just going to play very solidly, very patiently, and Arcane can be beat up the whole time, but then just gets one good sequence and that's it.
Something that you can see Fenrich doing too is like bursting super early. So he's bursting in spots where the burst is gonna whiff, but he knows that like Soji's not gonna get a pickup off of the whiff burst. Just because he doesn't want to get cursed that early, I think. Again, good air-to-airs. Like, Fenrich wins all these matches off of, like, raw anime fundamentals and, like, good button placement.
Yeah, you can see also Arakune. Really tricky movement as well.
Yeah, he teleports, like, weird... Oh, whiffs a DP. It's one of the other interesting things, too, about Arakune is that I believe the only real random thing about him is that when he puts the curse, like, cloud out, there's, I think, 3 different versions. There's one that, like, comes to him, or goes to you, or stays in place. I don't know the characters that well, but I know that the curse, like, cloud is random which one you get, so... Sort of like Faust, right? Where you, like, put out, like, one of your items and you have to react to it. So now the cloud is, like, hovering above Fenrich instead of being near Soji.
It just disturbs me to see all the little bugs in that cloud.
It's really scary.
It makes me, I don't know, like, whenever you're walking outdoors and you see that cloud of, like, bugs, and I'm like, I don't want to walk through this thing at all.
He's so composed, though. I like the way Fenrich is playing this, too, because he's spending, like, really expensive resources, like Burst, early, just so he doesn't let Soji get any momentum. There's a cloud that follows Fenrich.
Right, and he's doing a good job staying away from it as well. But keep in mind, as you mentioned, Fenrich, that was nice.
Was that his 5B, I think?
But, you know, Fenrich also top 8 in Dragon Ball this year as well, so just see how talented he is, top 8 in multiple games. It's such a hard thing to do these days.
Yeah.
Oh, nice confirm.
He's been landing, like, air-to-airs really consistently in this grand final set, too. Yeah, catches the no-tech.
Yeah.
Look at that air-to-air string! Like, he kept him blocking the entire way to the ground.
Yeah, a lot of the anime games, people who aren't familiar with it, if you don't tech out of the combo, you'll see the combo meter change usually a lot of times, and so,
and that was it, yeah. Very, very dominant.
Sorry.
Before you knew it.
Was that 3? Oh, but we started.
We started at 1-1, yeah.
Okay.
Just a bit of that, just to show you that like CF is still alive. It's part of ArcLive as well for you guys out there who still want to play.
Yes.
Right.
So definitely still be looking out for Fenrich to come back. Lots of players to come back and keep competing.
Yeah, and at EVO it was announced the ArcLive World Tour, right?
Yes.
So Blazblue is going to be a part of that then, Central Fiction, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But we also have BB Tag and Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2.
Nice.
Feature title.
It's super exciting, especially for me being like, oh my god, exit, let's
Yeah.
go.
I mean, I've been seeing all these other world tours for all the other games, and I was just like the whole time like, come on, when's Arxis? And they announced it, and for me, it's also just like we're gonna be able to see a lot more players from around the world now. You know what I mean? Because if we don't know the details yet, but if we get events in foreign countries and stuff, we'll be able to highlight them, fly them out to these grand finals, and that would be that's going to be super exciting.
And American players will also, get to travel overseas as well, and they're very, very excited about that.
Nice.
I know Kizzy is, because, he's just like, yo, I just want to go and travel and eat good food.
Well, Japan is the right place to do the latter one, eat good food.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there are a lot more, excellent food in, maybe Europe or South America or, wherever.
There's a pretty good, like, distribution of majors, too. Like, if you live somewhere, there's something close to you.
Yeah.
You can go back and watch that trailer if you want to see where all the locations are specifically, but they announced, like, at least 3 in Europe, 2 in Japan, 4 in, like, the United States. So, like, chances are you'll have somewhere you can fly out close to you. There's one in, is it Singapore? Is it Southeast Asia majors?
I believe, yeah.
So, yes, definitely look out for that coming up soon.
Yeah, more info coming up soon. Yep.
Yeah.
I know the BB community is hyped too, because like when there was this thing about like when Tag came out, like this is awesome, but like what's gonna happen with Central Fiction? And it's like, nope, we're still supporting it. It's still here, like we can still want to watch Fenrich body everybody with Chen. So.
And honestly, one of the best things about BB Tag is that it really is its own unique game.
Yes.
It's not like it's not going to replace Blazblue at all. They're two completely different games, so you can enjoy both of them in very.
There was an interview on Mori you can find on YouTube where it was a Q&A with Mori, and someone asked him like, is this just what Blazblue is now? Like, is this what it is? And he made it very clear that like, we hope you enjoy Cross Tag Battle for the Cross Tag Battle portion of it. Like, it has the Blazblue name, but it really isn't like a new sort of thing. Yeah. So they still want traditional Blazblue to exist in like its existing form. So he made that very clear, which I think was reassuring to a lot of Blazblue players for sure.
Absolutely. So speaking of BB Tag, we switch to some BB Tag stuff.
Oh man!
All right.
This was pretty insane because coming into this, and we talked about this like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago on ArcLive, where we're like, well, this is a clash between U.S. styles and Japanese styles, and which one is better and everything, and we were predicting it's probably gonna be like 4 Americans, 4 No, it was 1 American,
the lone hero,
lone hero, which was of course Fame, who won CEO. And you can see that obviously he's pretty good.
Yes, for sure.
Getting second place here.
And
so.
shout outs to the Georgia FGC. There's a time I lived in Mississippi, and I used to travel to Atlanta to participate in locals. And so, I haven't met Fame in person, but I'm pretty sure we crossed paths. So, shout outs to Fame. Congratulations. I'm really happy that, one of us have made it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
This really was the first EVO where I had the sense that, like, America is just on the cusp of being on the playing field, just like, we're here, like, don't count us out just because we're not Japanese, And I think Lost Soul, Fame, like, all these players are proving it. Squish and Eunice, like, showing that no, like, you need to be scared. Like, don't just count them out.
We're coming for you.
One of the hardest things about this though is, I felt like that the top 8 really did kind of showcase the Japan style of play, which was the using cross combos, not to extend your combos or for mix-ups necessarily, but for extending your neutral.
Yeah, in neutral, I haven't seen that a lot in the American community, so I was just like, wow.
The meta definitely evolved in different ways between here and there, and I think it like became pretty clear after EVO where the meta is going. I'm just like, this is the way that top players are playing right now, and like probably the smartest way to use your resources.
I mean, it's interesting when you watch Heiho play, actually, especially in the 2 matches that we're going to see him play. If his Gordeau is on point, like he'll activate the cross combo and keep switching back and forth. And after the cross combo runs out, you could tell he's stalling.
Right.
He's just running. Like he's avoiding until the meter builds up again, and then he can set it up again. It's literally the core of his entire game plan, which is very different from what a lot of the American players.
He had a really like strong sense of like, how long is it going to take for my meter to come back? Because like the time for your for your partner like assist bar to come back isn't really that long. Same with like if you burst, it's like 10 seconds before it comes back. So when you're using it in neutral, I think it like I can stall for those few seconds just for it to come back and like have more oppressive, especially with how oppressive his team was. You saw that on Showcase a lot in top 8 of like, I just don't get to play right now. He is making it so I am not allowed to play. So
and then also I think that they just discovered like that he was also taking advantage of kind of like a pseudo glitch, right? That like when he changes, like a character is a little bit more invincible.
Yeah.
Like, you see at one point Fame tries to DP a command grab and it just kind of goes right.
I had a player who the stream probably knows, Jonah. It was at like one of the first like locales for BB Tag here where he was showing me some of the Ruby Gord stuff, but this was like weeks before EVO, like 2 weeks before EVO, and he's like, "Yo, check this out. you're gonna do command grab and active switch, and they're gonna DP, and you're gonna run up and get 10k." And it's like, oh, this is a thing. And he's like, yes. So yes, when you do a special move and active switch at the same time, your character you switch away from becomes invincible, which means you get those super safe like DP bait and also command grab mix-ups that. Very, very oppressive.
Well, hopefully we'll maybe get some examples.
Yes.
We'll
move on to some matches.
And you know what? To be honest with you, like I know that's like a glitch, but you know what? Fighting games, that's kind of like the basis of fighting games and how fighting games grow, right? It's not a bad thing, and in fact, it could add to the game in a lot of different ways as well. So we'll see what happens in the future.
Alright,
we'll see how this goes.
So we're gonna do a couple matches from BD Top 8. Who do we have here?
Looks like we have Koji on the left over there. He uses the big body. I thought he was getting up, man. And he's going up against Heiho.
And I'll just sorry to interrupt, but as a Potemkin main, seeing two big bodies in a top 8 at an anime major was like at the tournament, right? At EVO.
I need to get Ultra David here so you two can just sit here and gush about this all day. But you know, what's interesting is from what I was hearing in the commentary, because I didn't get to see a lot of the semis matches, but Koji was the one that sent Heiho to losers. So this is a run back at this point. You can see Heiho was up 2-0 already against him, and you're gonna see here, right here, the cross combo activated.
There was something that Heiho did earlier that I thought was really smart too, is he called Gord to Grim Reaper out of the corner, and when Tager had Ruby pinned, he just active switched into Gord, and now he's behind Tager and out of the corner.
Yep. And so here we go. Here comes that mix up there. Yeah, you can't burst, you can't tag. It's just so easy to switch back and forth between the characters. And, I mean, I don't know how he keeps track of it, to be honest.
That was like a raw DP bait, though. I think one of the nicest things here, you can see the difference in like how they're both approaching the game if you look at the resonance bar. So there's that, you know, the 4 diamond sigils next to their assist bar. You guys see Heiho already had 4 of those diamonds in stock.
That's a lot of assists.
It's a lot of assists. It's the more assists you use, the more you build that. Oh, take your buttons! The more you build that meter. So you can just look at that and be like, Heiho is using his assists way more often because he's building that resource more.
But what's interesting is, like, you know, usually the big body teams in most fighting games, they're known for being slow and not a lot of range. That is not the case at all, especially with Waldstein and Tager's Spark Bolt. Like, these characters do not have a problem with range, and this is actually a pretty strong team, in my opinion. I don't think it's like top team, but I think this is definitely one of the more effective teams that you can have in the game.
And again, if it's that assist bait, for the DP, super easy, still alive. Oh, he did jump EX grab?
Yes, into super.
Oh my god.
Koji makes a fight of this. Definitely. Look at this! So he actually gets down to just the one character. But of course, the nice thing about Ruby and Bordeaux is their buttons hit everywhere.
Yes. For sure. I think when this game was coming out, people were like, Eunice is a game where a lot of characters have full screen normals, and that's just how the neutral works in that game. So they were like, how are the Persona characters gonna fight Gord and Waldstein? Like, how are they gonna do it?
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised there's not more Gordo Waldstein teams
exactly.
out there. Oh,
you could Grim Reaper and then also Claw Assist. And it's like, I'll hold this forever, you know.
Oh my god.
It's definitely a very unique team that we haven't really seen in the competitive scene. So yeah, that's
good stuff. But I mean, what was good about that is we get a preview of what Heiho is going to be doing.
Yeah,
because we're going to watch the grand finals a little bit later against Fame, and the way that Heiho's playing, you're going to see some of the crazy Gordo Ruby mix-ups and the cross combo stuff that happens in that match, and it's. Look, like I said, I don't know how to control it, but that means I know even less how to block it. You know? I have no idea what's going on.
It looks really because I play Ruby Gordo as well. I'm sorry.
Get out.
I'm sorry.
Get out.
I played Gordo Azrael when the game came out, and then I was convinced after Jonah showed me things. It's like, no, you need to play Ruby. You don't understand. You need to be playing Ruby. So I enjoy playing both of them, but like. He's so creative with the way he's using both those characters. Like, again, like, active switching to Gord while he's behind Tager to escape the corner is, like, super smart and clever and, like, just something you think of in the moment, you know?
Right.
So, one of the most enjoyable things about watching BB tag at this high level for me is, like, the mechanics themselves are pretty simple, and even though the cross-combo stuff looks really crazy, it's really just letting go of the partner button, and that, you know, is triggering your assist. So, it looks crazy, but, like, people are allowed to get really creative with it because the inputs for it are actually more simple than they look. So we'll probably see a lot more of that in the next couple matches. So see who we have next. Oh, speaking of American players.
This is Fame. This was the player, like I said, Run CEO. I know him as the guy who sniped me while I was playing on stream. I'm learning the game, and he just destroyed me, and I was like, ha, and I walked away.
I think what's really exciting for people too is seeing Fame in top 8 is like he's not as like esports quote unquote as like some of the other top American players in anime. Like he's more of a grassroots player, which is why people were so excited to see him here, and also playing Team Honesty of like two Shotos.
But what's really good about this team is you see right there the corner mix-up that he has. So this game has a really good corner mix-up ability, and it has the ability to snipe. Both of the characters have really good long-range projectile sniping from a full screen away, and Jin assist is just like the best way to get in.
Yeah.
So you'll see later on, he actually like dies with use jump C from like off screen, followed by the Jin fireball. So this team, I just feel like is so versatile. Like, see right there, he comes in from nowhere and the fireball lets it extend. So he's the ability to get in for the mix-up, and then when he's a screen away, you still have to be scared because he can snipe you with supers at any point in time. So I just feel like this is a super well-constructed team here.
Still look at this HP on both Adora's characters.
I like the way he uses. It's sort of similar to the way you see Heiho use Grim Reaper.
Oh!
Happy birthday! Yeah, don't call that on me, bro. I know better.
And shoutouts also for the Saturday night crowd here at
Oh
EVO.
my God.
This was so loud, and they were chanting USA like crazy.
Yo, I had goosebumps.
Have you seen the USA chant in the crowd? The crowd is absolutely hyped.
It's the best. As someone who started fighting games playing Persona 4 Arena, like for Persona players coming in, watching all these Blazblue and Unis players be like, why can Naruto do that? We're just like, yeah, we know, like we've been there.
Also, not to take any credit away here from Dora Bang as well, but also very strong player, as we mentioned, third place in Blazblue in 2014 at EVO.
Maybe this,
Bang,
Bang,
of course. But his team here, Hazuma, is more kind of like an avoidance character. I mean, both of them are kind of long range.
Wow, showing your placement knowledge. Thanks for that.
Oh, that's really tricky. That was a dirty cross up.
Fame knows what's works.
Wow, any punish, it's really hard to punish Noob first. I think he double jumped and air blocked and then like ran up 5A punished. Like really solid awareness.
Oh my God, look at the damage that he's doing
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, pretty much.
And shout out to the commentators as well. I know one of them was Ebonic Plague. I can't remember who the other one was.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Okay.
But I do remember Ebonic's commentary for sure. Definitely like super great commentator and super nice guy.
And they were getting so excited about Fame because that got him in the grand finals
Yes.
right there. That got him in the grand finals.
So Fame taking that pretty convincingly. Again, America showing up, and all I have to say is I'm very scared of if Bang ever gets in. Seeing what Dora does with Bang with an assist sounds scary.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like that sounds pretty wild.
Bang and Yang.
Oh dang! Nice.
Yeah.
Bang and Yang.
It's gonna be called Dora Bang Yang.
Dora Bang Yang.
Actually, no, never mind about the first one. Never mind. I'm leaving the room now.
Good work, James.
Good night, everybody. Alright, I'm shutting it for the rest of the show.
Oh, please no.
We still need you.
I can see you turning the color of your shirt.
Yeah, I know,
here.
right?
It's like good work. So I guess moving on to grand finals then. Heiho and Fame.
Oh man.
That must have been really tense too, just with all those people in the crowd watching.
And this was already a frustrating situation for Fame because this was right after the bracket was reset. Heiho had already reset it. I think it was 3-1, I believe it was, and it was really dominating. And so at this point in time, Fame, I just think was kind of out of ideas, and you'll see it because Heiho just kind of steamrolls him in this grand finals, and you'll really get a good showcase of that crazy Japanese style of the cross combo stuff. And like I said, I don't remember which game it was, but you're going to see it, that Gordo's going to go for a command throw, and Jin is going to uppercut, and it's just going to go right through him.
This is one of the scariest things about this team, is Ruby's air, her buzzsaw blast.
Yeah, you can't see that.
It goes off screen, you know it's there, and you want to anti-air it, because you're like, I can just anti-air it. But its hitbox is so huge that, like, contesting it is usually not a good idea.
See how Heiho wasn't doing anything? Like, if you actually watch carefully, his Gordo was, look, his
He's
Gordo's
running away.
doing nothing. He's just sitting. Gordo hasn't touched any buttons at all. He's just waiting till the meter builds up so he can land a Grim Reaper.
See, now that
now
that he's got almost full bar, it's time to go in.
Yep. And so now he's
Switch to
doing the
Ruby.
mix-up here. Oh, the side switch, God!
He can burst this, yeah, and he does, but
time.
That's gonna be rough. Anything is gonna kill Narukami.
Caught by Ruby right afterwards. It's a lot of health for poor little
And
Ruby.
Ruby, of
Whoa,
course.
but she
That's
is
a crazy
very good at securing those
Ruby has
hit combos.
the, is jump C that she's using for the instant overhead?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
instant air jump C.
Yeah.
Yeah, and both of these characters would really. Oh, Grim Reaper, there goes Narukami. He's gonna survive this, and he's probably gonna resonance up, but.
I actually don't think he gets a chance yet.
Oh,
there,
no,
there it
it's
is,
overhead,
the
there it goes.
There's the
Yeah.
jump C to open him up right away. So.
I think Heiho's team is one of the ones that is just super oppressive, and like, if you don't know how to deal with Ruby Buzzsaw, like you're in for a bad time.
The hardest thing about that move too also is that it makes her bounce in the air right at the start, so it changes her jump arc.
Right.
So if you think if you're trying to anti-air the normal jump and she buzzsaws, your anti-air misses, and then if you think she's gonna buzzsaw and does the regular jump attack, then you block that and you have to hold that as well.
He needs to play his
So
game, right?
again, just watch how Heiho plays this. As soon as he gets one opportunity, he's gonna activate the cross combo, and then just kind of turtle it.
He's just stalling in the air.
Here we go. Here we go. So now he's Gordo. Now he's Ruby. And he gets the combo here, and then he sets up his mix-up while he can get. If he can get the mix-up, he'll keep going. See, what?
See, I think that's the scariest thing about the Uni characters is now they have an air dash, and like that was never really a thing. I don't think like there was.
They had assaults, and that's kind of how it is here, but it feels a little more.
It was faster, right? Yeah. Like air assault was never like a late air dash tool. I don't think in Uni, and in this game it certainly is there.
Oh,
yeah,
right
switching. Yeah, like you said, Grim Reaper active switch. It's invincible. Goes right through that super.
Yeah, so he supered and it didn't hit Gordo at all. And of course, while you're holding the partner button down and the other guy's standing there, they're completely invincible as well. So you can't just snipe the partner sitting there.
That was a good block.
Fame has left.
I was
Heiho,
I
on
think it was
tournament point here,
like, David and somebody else were talking about how like, you want to pick red characters if you're on the first side, and blue-colored characters if you're on the right side to make it more
there it
confusing.
is.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
The command throw went right through him. So there you go.
No,
That's just something that you have to be aware of in that situation.
DP is going to get Fame out of the corner, but
This is just so hard to come back from, though. He needs like a happy birthday. Yeah, cross combo also makes your assist invincible.
Yeah,
So
see, just chilling there. Gordo's like, what? Hey, that's
What
true.
you do about that?
that's something that people were doing really early on in the game's lifespan. Of you called your assist, I'm Jin, I'm gonna do full screen wave super just to punish you calling him. And then once people realized, oh, if I have a 50 assist bar and can cross combo, I get to save my assist.
Yeah.
So. Good stuff to Heiho. Good stuff to Fame, though, making it that far.
Yeah,
I'm excited
definitely.
to see how the U.S. scene develops based on like the footage we saw from
It's
EVO.
definitely going to evolve after this. I mean, I think there's a lot of discovery to be made at this event. So.
And, like a lot of things that was interesting to me is I remember coming into this event, a lot of U.S. was like, oh, Blake is one of the best characters in the game, and there was like no Blake in top 16 at all. You know what I mean? Oh no, actually, I think SKD was in top 16, so I think he was in there.
Yeah, but not top 8, I don't believe.
Yeah, there was no Blakes in top 8 for sure. So,
yeah, I read that the overall consensus in Japan is that Blake is not as good as. It's like the opinion is just opposite.
And it might just be because maybe Blake doesn't function as well in cross combo neutrals.
Right.
Right? That might be why Japan thinks
I
that.
feel like, because people were making lists of like tiers and stuff after EVO, and people were debating like, is this character... Some teams just don't play in the same way that Heiho's team plays, It's like, with Fame's team, like, he can do the cross combo or stuff, but he wasn't using cross combo and was still getting super long block strings because of the smart way he was using like active switch and like his fireball. So you don't have to play like Heiho does. It's just that his team is super suited for playing that way.
And people in the chat, thank you for the clarification. A lot of people saying that SKD did in fact finish outside of top 16.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Fact checking us, which is good.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's tough. Like EVO BB Tag had a crazy number of entrants for a game that had its first year at EVO, like over 1,000, which is wild for a first coming game. So to make it to that top 8, top 16 is no small feat. Moving on to Gear though.
Oh yeah.
My game, I think, also probably your game out of the 3 there.
I love this. I did get to do some commentary for early pools.
Nice.
As I was doing commentary, I was just like, I miss this game so much. I
do too.
And I mean, again, I said this at EVO on commentary like 3 times or something like that. But we talked about the creativity of BB Tag, but you know, in my opinion, again, I'm biased because I love Guilty Gear, but I feel like this game allows players to be one with their character.
Absolutely.
More than any other fighting game out there.
I definitely agree.
I was gonna say that out of every game I've played, you know, Guilty Gear is the one where I feel like I can play most from my heart.
Yes.
Which is just like,
yes.
I'm in the moment. Like, well, the more you play Guilty Gear, you're more like, I'm in the moment. I feel this is what I'm gonna do, and you just do it. And like, that's how I feel the game is really supposed to be played.
That's how I feel with Venom, because like I was playing Venom, and I also play Venom, so I'm just like,
I am.
Yes, I am.
I am Venom.
I feel like lots of, myself included, like Gear players have that sort of strong connection with their character. My handle was based on Potemkin.
Right.
Like it's like UCI and Potemkin words mixed. So
Nice.
definitely strong connections to your character. Also coming back at ArcRevo, you know, the World Tour. So we're gonna see more action of it.
I wanted to play Yuzu because she's a female Johnny. I don't know what that says about me and Johnny, but you know, we'll let that chat speculate on that all day. So.
Now I want to hear like Wakamoto's voice actor doing Yuzu lines. I want to hear Wakamoto saying elbow. Elbow.
I mean, the reason why I wanted to bring up that creativity though is that two of the players that we're gonna see, Nage and Omito, right? Especially these two guys. Nage, I mean, you mentioned earlier, Faust, his item toss is random, right? He throws like one of like, what is it, like 20 some items now?
Oh, after the last patch, he got another like 8
Yeah,
items.
exactly.
It's like, okay, so Faust, his buff is going to give you more randomness. It's like, oh, great.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, the way that he does that though, he reacts to what the item is thrown better than any player of Faust that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then Omito, because of the way Johnny is and the way his misfinders work, and because of the Roman cancel system overall, I think he's the best at turning any hit into the exact combo that he needs at the time. I watch it, and he did like 19 different combos in like grand finals, and I was just like, how does he know to do all these different things for either hard knockdown or recoin or, you know, damage or whatever?
The scariest part about that too is knowing that all these Johnny combos are character specific because of different hitboxes, weight classes, like situational awareness of like my height is also dependent. So when he's doing all of those air hits into like air buttons into the Zwei knockdown, which is like the cheese stick. All of those are character specific, and like you have to know how high you are, how close you are to them, what the opponent's weight class is, what their hitbox is, and so like that demonstrates a huge depth of knowledge of the game from him. So
all that in that tense, you know, like under pressure environment
to execute on that level is really scary.
Unbelievable.
If you get a chance, I would go and watch more Nage footage, you know, of JP footage, because I love watching him and FAB play because the item awareness from both of them is like off the charts.
You'll actually see that from Fumo a little bit in this match too. The Japanese Elfeld player. And
I like how you saw that adaptation.
In Japan.
That guy has been representing that 5 dust. He's been tagging.
It's neat seeing the Western and US crossover there too. They have like Majin Obama as the commentator.
Yeah.
Like they have dual English and Japanese commentary, which is so cool. It's on like different audio channels, so you can change it to be which one you want.
Now I want to see what level they're on now, because is Nage going to be able to know, like, okay,
already
awesome.
He made top 64. He was up there, right? Yeah, so here we go. Fumo and Nage.
See, I mean, there you see a bomb already is one item that he's already tossed. There's a hammer that he's tossed. There's a poison that he tossed. But, you know...
Fumo's actually dealing with all of those.
Donut.
Fumo taking his time getting out of his corner, pushing him into the grenade. Now he's going to push all the way.
You got to take a little minute to rest. It does high stun.
Very high stun.
Yeah, see, he's like going wild because he knows, oh, Faust is backing me up. Even if he jumps in on me, I have this combo breaker, essentially.
Alright, going to go lock him down. Oh, he's above the grenade explosion. Using the pogo to avoid.
Why does this character have an instant overhand line behind?
And there it is again. There's the burst from Fumo. Sitting on top of the oil. Gotta be careful of the explosion. There it is. Avoids it.
He definitely looks tough for Alpha in this matchup to get in, but Faust not a character with many defensive options. That was a really sick confirm with the grenade. That was wild.
That was a great conversion on the air hit. Why is he coming? No, he instead.
Later on, and it's like
See, that's crazy.
That was right, yeah, that was it right there. Yeah, that was the one, because Fumo was doing the combos like there's a bomb on the floor. High jump cancels it to jump over the bomb hits Faust, and then he keeps the combo going after he lands. And I wanted him to win the round so badly for him landing that, because that was genius, and he doesn't win the round, and I was like,
that definitely can take the win as a competitor. Like that takes the win out of your sails. You do something super sick, like you like hard bait a burst or something, and then like you lose around anyway. It's like I worked so hard. Oh, there you go. Using the standing dust to dodge.
Nice guy, give me that donut. Fight the dice.
Pulling out all the stops here. That was the dirtiest mix up. The empty high into the command grab. Nage wants to end it right now. He saw what Fumo's capable of.
Spaces on the screen better than most of the other characters in the game.
You saw there too the reverse character knowledge, where Faust did his 6P as anti-air, which he doesn't really get much off of unless it's like a counter hit with like an item or something. He knew Alpha had the grenade stocked, so he converted off of the explosion from the 6P. So you can see the reverse too of Nage knows who he's fighting, like, oh, she's got the grenade out. If I hit her, she explodes and I get a better combo, and like executing that as well. So
like I play Venom and I feel like I have so much thing I have to think about, but like seeing this stuff, like, no, you're like way like you're in a completely different universe. Like this is not even
Venom is pretty hard too.
Yeah, exactly,
I'll give you credit for that one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it's like like what you were saying is like paying attention to all these different details. Like
and yeah,
it's fascinating.
Also, you know, just so people know, like Nage has been coming to Evos for a while now.
Yeah.
He's pretty much the Faust in Japan,
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Like if there's any Faust that you want to learn from, it's gonna be Nage, just like Omito Johnny, just like FAB Potemkin, right? So.
Yeah. And they put a lot of content too, and they I know Nage has a blog that he writes about. Yeah, and yeah, and he like reflects on his past performance, and you know he like kind of gives us like his analysis. Like, okay, this is why I did this because blah blah blah. Yeah, it's really interesting.
And he also defeated Omito at EVO Japan in
to take it,
in grand finals. So so he won EVO Japan just earlier this year. So. There we go.
Right. See who we have next up.
Do we have any more Rev 2 footage?
I believe so. Yeah. Hopefully we get a Lost Soul match in there. Your twin brother. Hey, there he is.
What are you doing on screen?
Is that me?
Just shave and it's uncanny. Like, that's all it takes.
But now what you have to do is you have to practice the pop-off.
Yeah.
I think part of what made those pop-offs so good is that Lost Soul as a person, if you ever interact with Lost Soul like person to person, he is one of the most genuinely nice people I've ever met in Guilty Gear. So watching him pop off, you're like, yes, you earned that.
It's actually more uncanny than I realized.
Oh,
I'm looking
100%.
back and forth between
like the staff, you know, behind the scenes over there is laughing there.
And he's going up against Rion, which I heard is actually supposed to be Lion, but it's just...
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So I know everyone just calls him Rion. But using a Kai, who is basically like the Jin of this game from a
100%.
standpoint, right? Very normal, not normal character, but quote honest character.
If you, the thing people say about Kai is like if you want to learn Guilty Gear, you play Kai. Right? It's like he teaches you all of the gear fundamentals. One of the most like oppressive characters in the corner, just because of his buttons. I reset attempt from Lost Soul, Rion taking it. Oh man.
Dude, Rion, Lost Soul also had that beautiful thing where Kai sweeping the fireball
Yes.
under it, knowing that it wasn't a true block thing. I don't know if he instant blocked it, so if he instant blocked it, sort of blocks, and I didn't see that, but he made it under that fireball, which is ridiculous. Lost. So an American has always made it into top 8 of Guilty Gear at EVO. There's always been one.
Yes.
But I don't think...
Oh, the burst man! That is a hard burst man.
Yeah,
of
he
just...
2-aced under it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, Lost Soul made it all the way to 3rd place, and I think he's also the first American to win a set.
Absolutely, yeah. He was already the farthest American after he won one match, and he got so far here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You know, because he also defeated Machibo, which is another very, very strong Kai player. So.
No, I think he lost to Machibo.
Oh, no, you're right. I had the
He
reverse.
lost to Machibo.
I had the reverse. You're right.
Machibo wanted to get in the Kai.
Yes.
He did beat Nage, right?
Yes.
He had to beat a lot of killers to make it here.
And, you know, the pop-ups I heard he had gotten that. That was the setup, too. He just threw a little too early. If he had actually he got in that throw in the time there. But look at that. He's winning here, and you can see it here. I think you can see him on screen a little bit. Oh,
I cut away. But yes, but if you go watch the footage, just like so hyped and excited.
But the thing is, like, he wins, and he's like, good game, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, let's go! Like, he's like, afterwards, he's like, okay, pump myself up, myself up.
Super nice, respectful to his opponent, but also feels himself.
Yeah.
which is all I can really ask for out of a competitor, you know?
And also, you know, again, random shout-outs, but shout-outs to Mr. Justin Wong, because you saw that he's playing WN Lost Soul. He's Wong Nation Lost Soul, because Justin, a long time ago, put out a tweet, he's like, I want to sponsor a player. I just want to do it. Who should I sponsor? Yeah. And everyone threw in the suggestions, and Lost Soul was the one that he picked. And so because of Justin, Lost Soul has been able to travel to a lot of tournaments. In fact, he's flying him out to CEO Taku later on this year as well. So shout-outs to Justin Wong.
Thank you for supporting anime.
Yeah, exactly.
in the tangential way.
Yeah, exactly. So
I see him sometimes tweeting about like art games too, where he's like traditionally like a Street Fighter like Capcom guy, and he's like, these games are kind of sick though.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Justin has always been good at every game. It's just that in this day and age, it's so hard to play multiple games, you know. So he's trying to win that Street Fighter 5, but
that's like the wildest part about seeing like Fenrich, and he was in top 8 in what, Dragon Ball, CF, and BB Tag, which is like, wow, that's really impressive.
Yeah, and that's gonna just lead me to, of course, talking about maybe one of the greatest fighting game players of today, Sonic Fox, who has the legit ability to make 4 top 8s at EVO. Like, he was legit in the running for 4 top 8s, and he ended up winning Dragon Ball. So that guy's kind of ridiculous.
Kazunoko also was entering like five games, right?
He made 3 top 8s, I think. He made 3 top 8s.
Yeah, Kazunoko, man.
No, he missed Street Fighter top 8, but he was right under there. So he had.
I know for sure Gear and
Dragon Ball.
He wasn't Gear, right?
I believe so.
Chat's gonna fact check me on that, but I'm like, I could have sworn I saw his.
Come on.
I could have sworn I saw him.
Yeah, I remember like his name being announced like in 2 different stages. Like,
no, he was not Gear top 8, so he was really close.
Okay, gotcha.
He was really close.
Yeah. But yeah, and that guy puts out a lot.
Oh, that's right. He was in BB Tag top 8.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
So he was another guy who could have legit made 4 top 8s.
That good stuff. Sonic Fox taking Dragon Ball. Very, very tough. Again, an American player showing up and like competing like head to head against Japan, which we haven't really seen in anime at EVO ever. You know, where we really have had this strong of a showing. So.
But I think we're also gonna get to see the grand finals of this between Omito and Machibo.
Machibo, yeah.
Someone correct me on the lore on this. I know Machibo used to play Soul, right? But I heard that like.
And then he switched to Sin.
Right.
Yeah, I first knew him as a Sin player because I started, with Sign.
Because I just remember there was some story that he was it might have been Sin, that he was so good with the character, nobody would play him when they saw him on the machine. So they all just played on the other machine. So he switched to Kai to kind of Inigo Montoya himself, you know, just so people would actually play him, and then he just killed everybody with Kai anyway.
This is another, this matchup is also screams Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Just this is really, really solid, gear fundamentals with both characters.
That's going to be the story of this match.
We saw it all winners finals.
Because it's like 1 or 2 frame window to do the quick drop version of it.
There's a
I try it and I can't get it consistently at all.
Not only that, showing off the dash treasure hunt or extensions. That's not easy. That's really, really tough.
People don't know you have to cancel a normal into misfire into dash into treasure hunt.
Yes, which is like a half circle back, double forward button,
So you see the same pattern.
That's why I played honestly. As soon as I learned about miscanceling, I was like, I need to play this character. So.
Even his basic bread and butter combos in the corner require a lot of miscanceling. You see him do that jump dust over and over again. Those are all miscancels that you have to have under your fingers at all times.
Lots of blocking, lots of good.
It's crazy fun to watch. Watching Omito land 14 dusts in a row and all with miscancels, and you're just like, oh my god, he just landed all of those in the biggest stage in the world.
And one thing that you'll notice too is that Johnny's movement is very limited. He's got a limited dash, he's got a very limited launch speed and jump. But that's what makes Omito's conversion into these long combos every single time so miraculous.
Man, he is just grinding him down.
He gets the coin, he recoins for the level 3. He has the Y-hander, one-hit knockdown combo, and now you're trapped in this corner situation. Oh, guess what? Now there's a miscancel there, and then what? A 6K into a high jump dust Y-hander?
Oh,
and then instant overhead?
It's an instant overhead and a burst save. Like, extremely impressive, super impressive.
It's really hard to get burst right against Johnny.
Yeah.
So many option sets against burst.
All of his combos have such far range and no hurt box. Like, people complain about Manat and no hurt hitboxes. Like,
yo, come fight Johnny for a
yeah, I
minute.
know. Like, fight some misfinders. And honestly, that's also one of my favorite things about Amito, too, is that he uses level 1 misfinders better than anyone else. Because when he doesn't have a coin, you know, you can just throw out misfinders willy-nilly.
Pretty much.
Sometimes Johnny's me forget that a lot of the time.
Unblockable setup. Yes, sir. Perfect. It's like giving me flashbacks to like 2016, 2017. Like the first,
rematch.
Yeah, this is like the nerf Johnny too. Like back when he first came out, like missed. If you landed the Bacchus side, which is the fog unblockable, like the next mixed finder you do is unblockable. When he first came out, he got the full missed finder where like the full hit, and now he just gets the stagger. But it was crazy watching it back in the day. You see Machimo getting hit by that a lot in this top 8 of like he wants to contest, but anytime Amito has 25 meter, he's looking for this YYRC. Like he's getting those pressure resets, and Machimo keeps swinging because he doesn't want to let him get away with it. But like he kind of just has to hold that sometimes.
All the Johnny haters out there, we suffered enough through XX. We deserve this. We deserve.
No, they need to put Johnny back in Johnny tier where he belongs down at the bottom by himself.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is the scary part to me is like he's only got level 1, but you can see Amito fishing for like just any whiff punish, and now it's my turn.
He has the hard knockdown combo without the misfiner, and then
air unblockable jabs.
Oh, he missed the coin. Yeah, but. Oh, it's so beautiful to watch.
Good awareness from Machimo with that throw though. I like that too from Amito, is like you were saying, low misfiners, they cut through projectiles. That got me. Watching that JK.
Wait. Kai players cannot be mad about other characters' JK.
Okay. You're right, but I was in, this is the only top 8 I got a chance to watch live at EVO, and I got goosebumps watching like the Lost pop-ups in person. But I remember just jumping out of my seat and going, what? When I saw that Johnny like JK win. I really love Amito's use of the level 1 misfiners. Like to go through those fireballs. It's scary because you as a Kai player, you're like, I can just throw this out like at this range, but he's got a pretty good check.
I mean, the crazy part about this is Machimo is, by all accounts, one of the greatest Guilty Gear players on the planet right now. And what Amito is doing to him right now is just crazy. Like, he's going to win 3-0 in this set. And to be able to do that over... I don't know if someone can correct me on this. I don't think this is an awful matchup for Kai, right? I think this is a pretty even matchup because Kai has decent range with the stand S.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say it looks like one of his tougher matchups, but not tough, quote unquote, but like not as easy as it would be against like characters who don't have the normals to fight back against his. I don't think it's a bad matchup per se, but I definitely think it's one of the ones where he has to work a little bit harder.
In other words, my Johnny sucks. I see what you're saying.
Well, I see lots of like
it's cool.
like he just gotta hold that. Something that I hear a lot from Sin players, like KZ included, of just like Kai is one of Sin's worst matchups because he has answers for all of like Sin's tools. Like he doesn't excel at anything, but all of his tools are solid. I say that Johnny is the best grappler. Just like those normal throws. Something that I see Machimo getting hit by a lot in this set is whenever I feel like the only answer you have for Johnny's YYRC like pressure resets is to go for blitz. I'm not sure if he's like missing the blitz and that's why he's getting counter hit, or he's testing with something else. But Amito's super. Oh wow, he backhanded back through that. Yeah, Johnny's backdash is so good too.
And this is one of the toughest things about a character like Kai, that he is about pressure. But if your opponent is really good at defense, it's going to be hard to open him up. As much as League Sever is unblockable online, offline it's not perfect. So.
He really needs the corner and resources. Like he's got that triple overhead set up there, right? But that required a hard knockdown, a enhanced sun edge YRC, like instant overhead into the late air dash. Like getting those is super tough. Whereas Johnny needs a level, you know, and then he's got instant overhead.
I think I've only seen like one combo that Amito either dropped or ended not how he probably wanted to in every situation. Look at this. He's recognized he was crouching, so he could do the slash into the 6H. It is just the most ridiculous. It is the most ridiculous thing.
To have the awareness to like crouch confirm again with this YRC, like catching the counter hit, that's gonna be it. Like that's the tournament.
Oh, and he does it by say my name. He ended the tournament with say my name. Oh.
Man, it's tough. The window for that is pretty tight too, because like YRC eats your inputs, right? And so if you're going for blitz in that situation and they YRC and you time the blitz wrong, like you might just get counter hit. You might have gotten like a close slash or something instead. So definitely scary. Anytime there's like a YRC pressure reset, like it's tough to contest with, you know. But good stuff from Amito, showing that he is, as he says, the best Johnny players
back to back.
Has that ever happened before for a gear?
For a gear, oh gosh. I'm not sure actually.
I want to say it was like the first.
Yeah, maybe like first and second gear. Like Daigo might have won back to back or something like that.
For gear specifically,
like that. Yeah. But no, I mean, in this day and age, to win an EVO back to back is okay. Well, not only back to back, but make grand finals of EVO Japan.
Yes.
Right. So he was in 3 grand finals of EVOs in a row. But in this day and age, to do something like that is almost kind of unprecedented, you know. So even guys like Tokido making 2 grand finals for Street Fighter back to back, you know, Omito winning twice in a row. It's just the scope of competition these days. It's not even just about how good you are in game, but it's a grind. You get tired at these events, you know.
So much.
It's so tiring, and like it's so easy for your brain to just shut off and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna play this really simple because I just want to get this over with, you know.
Like kind of specifically for Gear, because that's the game that I knew the schedule for EVO. It's like you show up to your pool at 8 or 10 a.m. And then if you are fighting to get into top 8, your match is at 8 p.m. And it's like you literally spend over 12 hours like grinding against the best players in the world. So like tournament play is very different from, you know, an exhibition.
And you made top 8. Go play your match at 8 a.m.
At 8 a.m. finals.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh man.
Like, okay, so you need to be here in 10 hours, and you're gonna fight like the best players in the world. Have fun. So.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, shout outs to the Guilty Gear scene, because that's 2 years in a row they kicked off EVO Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, and it's been hype every single time.
I think last year Blazblue took it.
Oh, you're right.
CF was the opener last year. They swapped years.
Yeah, you're right.
But even then, like. Blazblue Grand Finals last year was a ridiculous Grand Finals.
That was Ryusei, right?
Yeah, Ryusei and Fenrich. Yeah.
Right.
Again, another matchup of like, here's my set play character. Here's my character with Jin buttons and a 6A overhead check. So, cool. Well, hope you guys enjoyed us reviewing some of those matches. I can't wait to see these players clash more in the future. I want to see Lost Soul fight Omito. I want to see all these matchups we didn't quite get this EVO.
Yeah, and you know, I hope it really does for the people who are watching this who aren't familiar with the games, kind of get a glimpse into what the games look like. And, you know, obviously we didn't like straight up commentate the matchups, but I hope, you know, talking over and just kind of explaining a lot of things showed why these games are so fun and what makes it so that these games, in my opinion, are some of like the most fun fighting games right now. I mean, I'm cracking out on BB Tag right now. I'm trying to learn a new team now just for fun.
It's a mix of like those high level play mixed with like the personalities. Like watching Lost Soul pop off was just like the highlight of my EVO experience. And just like all the heart on display from all these players. So
I love this pop offs. Like every competition where he's like on stage and he wins, he's popping off. But like when you're watching on stream, you never know what he's saying. Like, I want to know what he's saying.
I want you to go up and be Lost Soul Ganesian, where you just, like, copy his pop-offs behind him a second behind, so there's 2 of them walking around on stage.
I'll try my best.
That'd be amazing.
No, really, like, I was at, like, Anime Suite, and I'm pretty sure there's, like, 2 people that walked up to me and was like, hey, good job today, man.
You should have been like, oh, thanks, bro. Man,
yeah, I know, right?
I worked really hard.
So so sorry.
Shout out to J1.
I stole your fire, man.
But I mean, to all those people, you're like, look, I can't blame you, man. I'm not Lost Soul. I'm sorry. Oh, man, it's too funny.
It's okay. Well, half my life, I'm Venom, so we'll have that distinction.
Okay. Yeah. But you know what? Let's switch away from the camera and come back. When we come back, we'll have Lost Soul to interview about the matches,
Lost Soul's in-house.
All right. Are we taking a break or are we just straight?
Right. Oh, okay, going straight into it? Okay, cool.
We'll just go into it. All right. So we're just going to open the chat to questions, maybe? Yeah. Ask us anything. Ask James Chen. Ask Jacob. Ask...
okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Thiryu. Future top American player prediction for the PB Tag and Xrd.
Ooh, do you just want to go around the table and pick one from each game?
Well, I mean, for me, it's like I don't want to pick one player from America. What I really want to do is just I'm expecting to see a very big shift in the way that US is playing BB Tag because the cross combo neutral obviously seems like to be the main thing, and now that we've seen it with Ruby and Gordeau, I'm sure there's other combinations that can do some really, really dirty ass things like that. So, can I say that? Am I allowed to say
you have now, and so
okay, sorry.
You get one. You get one ticket
sorry,
for sure.
Sorry, my bad.
Strike one.
Yeah, I know that's exactly what I'm going to be doing when I get home. Is getting back into BB Tag and trying out the different. That Japanese style of play, it's very different from what I've been doing.
I'm excited for what's the first U.S. Stop on the ArcLive World Tour? Is it Frosty Faustings? It's Frosty's is the first stop, so a couple months away. I think we're gonna see another big anime tournament. I'm super hyped to see how the American meta has evolved by then. Keep watching your locals, go support your locals, and see how everyone's developing.
I think
for sure.
SCR and CEO Taku are on the same weekend, right? Coming up soon, and I think it's gonna be
first glimpse of everyone's had 2 months ish, maybe, or no, it's August, so 1.5 months ish to grind post-EVO and take what we've learned from this tournament and sort of apply it. So.
Definitely. And we lost the questions. Can we get the questions back up?
Oh, there we go.
Cool. Who is your favorite waifu? ArcSys characters only. Go.
Ooh. No, I'll start with James because
start with me.
Yeah. Is it female Johnny?
No.
You've talked at length about female Johnny.
No. I have. Everybody has always asked me who my #1 waifu in Guilty Gear is, and I've always said Johnny. I've just responded, Johnny.
Johnny waifu?
Yeah, Johnny is my waifu.
You know that there's going to be fan art of you and waifu Johnny now because you said it live.
Look, I'm going to give shout outs to someone else. Have you seen Karen G's cosplay? She did female Johnny one time.
I haven't, no.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Anyways, let's move on. I'm going to shut up now. Otherwise, I'm going to, anyway. But Jacob, who's your waifu?
Something more conventional, like Dizzy, I guess.
Dizzy's a strong pick. Yeah, I remember we were selling, the keychains of everyone's waifus at the booth at ArcSys, and everyone's like, I need Johnny. I don't know. Oh my god! Oh my god! Now it's happening to me.
I'm not the only one.
The truth comes out.
I need Jacko and Dizzy and Milia. It's like, yes, okay. I just think, okay, yes, I understand. Oh, favorite ArcSys waifu. Yeah. Oh man, that's tough. I'll go with Gear. I guess I'll pick Mei because she's my favorite female character from that game. I play like a like.
Oh, there it is.
You go.
Yes, there's the Karen G cosplay right there.
It's convincing.
That's pretty sick.
At EVO this year, I think she was cosplaying Ino, right?
Yeah, she was Ino this year. She was Johnny.
Oh, I saw that.
She was Johnny 2 years ago, and she was Biken last year, and her Biken was amazing as well. So, and which I will say, if I really did have to pick a genuine ArcSys waifu, it would be Biken. So it would be Biken.
Well, now you have to go.
Oh, I do. Okay.
Is your waifu Lost Soul? No.
Maybe.
Are you gonna go with canon? Isn't it Venom and Milia, or is that Zato and Milia?
Well, see, if I was gonna go canon, I would have to pick Zato, right? Because then I would cheating on my
That's
master.
Right.
But I think personally, like I started Guilty Gear back in like Sharp Reload, and my favorite character back then was Bridget. I know Bridget is a dude, but I genuinely thought Bridget was a girl.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the lore, right? That's the whole point.
So my favorite waifu / waifu.
Right, I'm changing mine. Okay, I'm changing mine to Jubei then, and so we have three out of 4 is homeboy.
You're not alone.
Homeboy waifus, James. You're welcome.
Nice.
Next question. Don't bother. Okay, so this is from. Sorry, I forgot to name.
Yeah.
AW Monopoly Man 00000. don't bother asking about the mystery. But to James, favorite non-SF series, non-Street Fighter series.
Non-Street Fighter series, my two favorite are nice. It's just,
it's just on the screen.
Nice. My favorite non-Street Fighter series actually are the Darkstalkers series and Guilty Gear.
Nice.
Those are my two non-favorite non-Street Fighter favorite series. So there you go.
Boom, boom. Yeah. There you go. Cool. Well, thank you. We still got female Johnny.
Yeah. And again, shout outs to Karen G. That's what it is. If you look her up, you just look up Karen G cosplay. She does a lot of really cool work.
I remember seeing the Eno one and thinking like that was super sick.
Yeah.
Like, that's super cool.
And you know, it's really tough too because she's just from Latin America, and so she travels up to Northern America for a lot of these times and for a lot of these events. That's really cool.
Well, next question. This is from FPS Raptor. What do you think about the future of anime FGC?
All right, Zot, we're gonna start with you.
Oh, for me, I mean, this again, watching EVO Top 64 was that like out of body moment where I was watching like people that I've grinded gear with for years really strut their stuff and be like, we are here to play now. Especially with ArcLive on the horizon, with so many qualifiers in the United States and Japan and like all these other places. I think the future looks bright, honestly, especially for Guilty Gear specifically. That's the game where I really felt like the American scene put themselves on the map. Like, so many strong Japanese players got like taken out by the U.S. crew.
Right.
And even though you only saw one in top 8, if you go and look at top 16 for Guilty Gear, I know Kizzy's in that in like 9th place, like just outside. Lostle's up there. There's a bunch of players who were like right on the edge, and so
Viper,
the KV, all these guys who've been grinding the game forever, who've been putting in so much work into the game, it's finally showing off. So I'm excited to see next EVO and see what happens. I think that the ArcLive World Tour is really a kick in the rear for all of America to be like, this is the opportunity for you guys to show up and show out and like show that all of that effort like was worth it.
And to the rest of the world.
Same there, I'm only talking about North America because that's the scene I know the most. But like speaking for even and outside of Arxis Games for a minute, like we had an EU winner for Street Fighter, which like when has that ever happened before? Really. So.
Well, there was Luffy.
Yes, but like
still no American winners for Street.
But Bison won a major.
Yes. Let's go.
Nobody can say Bison hasn't won, but like in all fighting games, I feel like now is the time where the non-Japanese crew are really showing up. So I think the future of the anime FGC is more different countries showing up and being top, more motivation from players. Like I really, really want to see people motivated by the World Tour to come out and like place and really, really show that we're here to play. So.
Well, Jacob, what about you? What's your thoughts on it?
What he said, we're the sky's the limit. Things are going up real fast. Lots of different games, lots of different players. It's really high. I mean, I've been involved in this thing for forever, and I've never seen this kind of level of involvement from different venues and developers and publishers. They're in it like on the ground level now. It's crazy.
Yeah, quick plug. Shout outs to Arc America. Like now there's an American branch for anime here. Thank you for hiring me. But like,
everybody's gonna come after you now.
I know.
Can you take my job?
You're now part of the Narcissus, as they
Yes,
call,
exactly.
Right? So,
I'm an art cop. I have the badge that we wore at the booth that I've been wearing to locals. And like, sorry, I'm a deputy now. Like, I can't compete, but like, it shows that like Arc System Works wants a bigger presence overseas, right?
Absolutely.
Like, not only the support for all these American tournaments, including EVO, but the opening of an actual branch here is like says a lot about what they believe that the American scene can offer for their game. So, sorry, I didn't want to jump in and cut you off.
You're absolutely right.
I mean, for me, I just think the future is now, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, honestly, EVO, let's face it, was an anime event, right? There was 3 anime games in there.
We're taking over.
For the longest time, it was always, like considered kind of like a Capcom event or whatever.
Exactly.
But like this year, we had Dragon Ball, we had Blazblue Cross Tag, and we had Guilty Gear in there. So, for all intents and purposes, EVO was an anime event.
A third of EVO's main game lineup was, like anime fighters. So
exactly. But I mean, no. For me, the key thing was the ArcSys World Tour, the ArcLive, and as soon as that got announced, like when that was announced, I was just like screaming, granted in my bedroom because it was very early in the morning in the hotel, but I was really, really excited about that for sure. So.
Did you cry more than the Street Fighter finals?
Fortunately, I held it together a lot this year. I did a good job holding it together this year.
I personally can't watch that trailer without getting choked up.
Oh, yeah?
Like, you have to be sappy on stream. Like, anytime I watch that World Tour trailer, I'm like, this is like...
Put it on now. Put it on now.
No, please don't. But, like, after... Because I really started, like, playing fighting games because of, like, when Ultimax dropped, that's how I got into fighting games. And then that was months, like, 2 or 3 months before Sign came out. And Sign is when I, like, really went in hard. And so, like, to see how far Guilty Gear and like, Blazblue have come since those, like, 4 years ago even when I first started playing, like now it feels like there's a way stronger presence, and so I get emotional because I'm like, wow, look how much the scene has built up where like there's now this world community for this game that I love so much. So
all right, well, good deal. So the next question is from Shadow Kurosu.
Everyone's asking me questions.
Yeah, Chen's thoughts on Merkava. Have you played Merkava, the new DLC?
I have not tried Merkava too much on BB Tag. All I will say about Merkava is that he's cute, he's adorable, he's not trying to hurt anybody, he's just trying to rock babies to sleep, He's just, he's just excited about things. You can't hate him. He's just an adorable creature.
That's true.
He's misunderstood.
Oh, yeah.
That's just all it is. So.
Did you ever, how much did you play against him in Eunice, though?
I hated him. I hated him when I fought him in Eunice.
I was like, have you ever fought Burger Dave's Merkava? Let's go do that for a minute, and then we'll talk.
Okay, yeah. But, you can change your opinion about things. So.
Fair, I just wanted to double check and make sure. My favorite is the Merkava players being just like, he doesn't have the worm. I wish he had the worm, like when they brought him over.
Just go play Napa and get some Cybermen out there, and just work with that instead.
But from what I've seen, I saw some really high level players play, mess around with Merkava, and he looks pretty devastated. Yeah, he's got some sick overheads that you can't even see. Like,
now that she's a little simpler to use, now is my opportunity to learn female Johnny. So
yes.
So I have Team Yuzube is what I call it right now because I have Yuzuriha and Jubei.
Okay.
Nice, that's awesome.
That's a good team.
And Jubei's weird, but I have this history of doing nothing but playing cat characters. So I felt like it was my duty to have to learn Jubei.
Jubei is my favorite Blazblue character.
Oh, really?
And now my waifu, thanks to the question. So I appreciate that. Your team is just this the entire time. It's just teleports and Jubei
things. The side switching is ridiculous on that team right now. So I think it's going to have a strong potential for the cross combo and the tag switching and stuff like that.
I'm hoping because Merkava still has the hit grab, right? The stretchy hit grab.
I think
that like in Uniel didn't have a hurt box on his extended arms. So I'm like, well, maybe that might be a counter to like the Grim Reaper spam. If Merkava can reach through the Grim Reaper and just grab Gord, maybe there's something there. So I'm excited to see how Merkava develops too.
Yeah, but also shout outs obviously to Arxis for releasing everybody.
Yeah, that was a wild
right
announcement.
After EVO, I was super happy about that. Now we can lab and grind out all these characters just right now and figure out all the cool. So honestly, the meta of this game is going to change drastically.
Yeah.
So because we're gonna. I mean, I've heard some people saying that Naoto is super good in the game now. And
oh man, again, speaking as someone who started in Persona, people are just like, this instant kill stuff is wild. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, welcome to it. Welcome to our world. I got hit twice and I died.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, thanks. It's playing against BB Tag Naoto is giving me PTSD flashbacks to like Shadow Naoto matchups where it's like she's gonna hit me once and do 18 gunshots, and then I'm gonna get meaty hummoned, and then I'm gonna get crossed up and die.
So, I mean, that's going to happen to me when I play and I fight a Merkava, right? I'm going to be like, Merkava's so cute, and then I'm going to get killed by Merkava. It's going to be that anime where the background goes all dark, but I'm still smiling, but the line shows, and I get the little teardrop. You can hear this ching.
You get the Kill Bill lines, but with Merkava face.
Exactly.
I think for sure, like with what you said about the meta developing, like people are already getting so creative with the characters that are existing now.
Yeah.
Now you're dumping in another 9, like right off the bat. Like I expect to see some pretty unique teams by Frosties of just like even probably by CEO Otaku of people just being like, I've had a couple weeks, here's my grime. you ain't seen this yet. So it's exciting to see the game develop like this as it continues on too.
And you guys saw maybe at the very end of BB Tag where they sort of played a little trailer, I guess, or maybe tag, and there was that one extra slot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Extra
So
franchise.
it's still going to develop even further, right?
Exactly.
So,
That was the other exciting thing too, is that like they had announced like, oh, here's the DLC packs, and there's like, oh no, we're not done. Like we finished. Here's packs 4 through 6. No, we're not done. Here's one more.
Right.
Like so, who knows what the future holds for that? Nobody knows what the franchise is yet.
Sailor Moon, former
100%.
Arxis property, right?
Yeah.
So
Sailor
there you
Moon,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. It was a great Super Famicom fighting game.
Oh man,
It was
that scene is
I
wild.
played the snot out of that one. Oh man, I cannot wait.
I remember when Mori and Daisuke were on here, like there was a franchise that I thought of that I really wanted added to it, and I can't remember what it is anymore. It was like some franchise. Anyways, I'll remember it later.
Fans are going wild with like who they want.
Yeah.
Like, we had people coming to the booth at EVO for the ARC booth with signs saying "When's JoJo?" and just walking by, showing it to like Mori,
Nice,
and I'm just like, wow, you brought that whole sign here. Like, you really want this? Okay.
Nice.
That's the one question that Moore's like, oh come on. it's so like overdone.
They're probably saying it in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, we don't have it
Right.
pulled up right now, but
We're gonna censor all the JoJos. Well, anyway, thank you guys for coming. It was awesome today. It was very, very fun. So just a reminder for next week, we have the Eunice Extravaganza. We got joining us Kilgore and his friends coming to host, and yeah, we're gonna do some online battles. So come check us out. Eunice comes out for Steam on August 20th on stream. And we got SoCal Regionals 2018 and Ontario Convention Center. That's September 14th through 16th. So check that out. And also check out The Missing after the announcements. Yeah, definitely. So
probably gonna get more stuff at that after the
event, possibly. So yeah, again, if you're part of the press, media, or if you're an influencer, go check them out and see if you can get in and get some first time coverage.
And can we, and I know when we close out, we're gonna show a video. Can we get like a PIP of just Zot's face, like during the whole video? And
please
stuff?
don't. I'll be just doing like this at the screen, like in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm desensitized now.
Okay,
it was the day watching it live, and I watched it in my hotel room after, where I was like, oh, this is real now. It really sunk in of like this is gonna happen. I'm so excited for the community. So cool.
All right, well, I that's it. I don't have anything else. You guys have anything else?
Closing statements?
Yeah, just keep an eye on the Arc Revo World Tour.
Frosty's is the first event for US. I think there's probably earlier events overseas, so keep watching out for those. But we'll see you guys there.
See you guys there. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. See you guys.
Arc System Works presents Arc Revolution Cup now moves on to the world stage as Arc Revo World Tour. Over the span of a year, from fall 2018 to fall 2019, qualifiers will be held at major tournaments all over the world. North and Latin America, Europe, Japan, Asia. Winners from all the qualifiers will clash at the final battleground. Arc Revo America 2019 to be held in the fall. Over $100,000 total in cash prizes. This year's titles: Blazblue Central Fiction, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, Blazblue Cross Tag Battle. Who will triumph above all and emerge victorious?